The time is 5:30 p.m. The date is Monday, July 27th. This is the meeting of the Paris City Council, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. As usual, we will start with the invocation, followed by Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor Brad Aldridge will lead us in the invocation, followed by Ms. Lancaster leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If I can ask everyone to please stand.
Please join me and let us pray. Gracious Heavenly Father, we just pause at the end of a long day. As we prepare to extend it, just pray for patience. Lord, I pray for humility. Lord, I pray for wisdom. Lord, I thank you for the men and women who give of their time to serve our community. And pray that as discussions are had and thoughts are shared, Lord, that those would be in the best interest for the greater good of our community. Lord, I thank you for those who are here and who have an interest in our community. I pray the same, Lord, for us, that words spoken, Lord, would be done in humility, with self-control, for the greater good of our great city. So we ask these things in the name of Christ and for your glory. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 4 is the Citizens Forum. Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentation to no more than 2 minutes. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the city, council members, or employees, as well as individual personnel appeals, are not appropriate for the Citizens Forum. The Citizens Forum is now open. If you want to address, please come to the podium, write your name and address for the record.
Michael Glaffelder, 1345 Southeast 6th Street, Paris, Texas. Thursday, July 23rd, between the hours of 3 and 4 p.m., I was sitting in the library on a computer, and I heard a voice ask if my name is Michael. Police officer was standing behind me. He was called to the library about my car. I don't know if it was the color that they didn't like or what. And I talked with the library personnel, and they assured me that a patron called the police. I asked the officer if he had a search warrant or an arrest warrant, because the only way I speak to the Paris police is if they have a warrant or I invite them to talk, as I don't recognize them as legitimate anymore. The officer was, however, very professional. He was a very nice young man. However, here's a clean, shiny Paris policeman, and he's doing somebody's dirty work. Where have I ever seen this done before in this town? Okay, they're not here to do anyone's dirty work, including yours. If you got a problem, you take care of it yourself. Now, so far you have used the police to place problems on me, and I've mostly turned the other cheek, and I've gotten slapped. This is going on for a couple of years now. So if someone doesn't like my car at the library, they can come tell me, but don't call the police. And I will reiterate right here and now, no police on my property, no police contacting me unless they're stopping me for a traffic ticket or there's some kind of warrant out there. Okay, thank you. I'm done here.
Good evening. My name is Ray Banks. Live at 3450 Robin Road, Paris, Texas. I've come before you tonight to address two things that are on the agenda. One is item 19, where is the talking about issuing certificates of obligation for $2.5 million to discuss and act tonight. I do not believe the public has had enough information to have relayed to you their wishes on this problem. I would hope that you would not pass this tonight, but that you would add this to other things that are needed by the city, such as the trails and drainage and so forth, and come up with a bond proposal to let the citizens vote on it. Because sooner or later, taxes are going to have to be raised. I understand that you're fixing to pay off a bond that was, so you'll have some extra money. That's like keeping my credit card at max. Just because I make a payment doesn't mean I should go out and buy something else. And that's the way I feel about our city. The other thing is at item number 20, executive session, Parish Warehouse 107, tax abatement agreement. I am sure there was a contract signed for a tax abatement on this property and what must be met in order for that abatement to be fulfilled. I do not think this should be discussed in executive session. The contract was probably discussed in executive session, which is correct, should be. But as far as them meeting the obligation of the contract, I think that should be an open session. And I think if they met the contract, then they should receive their abatement, no problems there. If they did not meet the contract, then they should not receive the abatement. There's no gray area. It should be black or white. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Banks.
My name is James Pryor, 1230 Shadow Level Speaker, because I had a stroke. Come on.
Good evening. This is entitled Helping Our Community. It's short and simple. You've heard what the people have had to say. I say the rest is up to you. I would like to ask you directly, the council, why you have not taken the tour that I've talked to you about, the tour of the areas that have been severely neglected, the lower socioeconomic areas, the poor areas, dare I say, the hood. We live in these areas. And it is my understanding, I may be incorrect, but it's my understanding that all of the city council has not come together in agreement as to whether or not we need to spend more funds in these areas. I would just like to ask directly if someone could explain to me why our areas of town are not as important as others. This is only the beginning. Understand that Reverend Price started this. I'm Sister Rose Lindsay, and I've got a big mouth and an even bigger heart. I have love for the city council. I have love for the city of Paris and all of my brothers and sisters that reside here. And I'm not giving up. I'm not going to give in. So we'll be back. Thank you.
Again, y'all do something about what we want to do something about, please. Listen.
If there's nobody else wanting to address in the Citizens Forum is now closed. We'll next move to the next agenda item, which is the consent agenda. Any of the council members have any questions on it? Mr. Pickle?
No, sir.
Dr. Clifford?
No.
Mr. Pallara?
No.
Mr. Jenkins?
No question, sir.
Ms. Lancaster?
No.
I'll take a motion on this item then.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Item number 12, we move on to the regular agenda. The next item is item number 12. Discuss and appoint one member to fill a vacancy on Historic Preservation Commission. Can I first ask a question on this? Is there one vacancy now or two vacancies?
There are now two. We had a resignation Friday, so there are two now.
Okay. So how does the council want to proceed with it, Mr. Pickle?
May I ask who the other person was?
Sherry Holbert, they moved out of the city, I think.
Yeah, well, I just wanted that confirmed. I wasn't
Correct.
positive, but okay. I'd just say we've got 2 candidates, we've got 2 openings. I recommend we put them both in there.
May I ask-
Sure, let's go.
Who has
Ms.
someone to
Lancaster?
say something?
You second
No, I did not. I want to speak.
it? Okay.
I would like to have a larger group to pick from. I mean, I think historic has always been one of my very favorite projects, and I'd like to ask, I can think of several people that would be very good. I'd just like to have the opportunity to increase the selection.
Mr. Pilato, you wanted to say something? I'm going out of sequence, but since you were saying something.
Why didn't they, my question is, how come they didn't put in for it when we got 2 people interested here? What, I don't understand.
Well, things do change, and with some very good members going, they probably didn't realize there would be an opening for one. I'd like to give them that opportunity, that's all.
Dr. Clifford?
I'd like to see a few more candidates too. I wouldn't mind tabling this to see if we can't get some more people to apply.
Mr. Jenkins?
It's fine with me.
Which
I agree.
one?
Get some more candidates.
Okay. Can I ask a question? Who is the second candidate? I thought I saw only one applicant.
Chris
Mr. Dukes.
Dukes. Chris
That was
Dukes.
the only one that I saw.
Okay, I'm sorry. Annie Beard was held over from the first pool of applicants.
Okay, but did she reapply for it?
No, I put her name in simply because she had applied before and she was left over.
Okay, all right. So how does the council want?
Can I ask you,
Sure.
have we done a precedent like this before where we've opened it up and asked for candidates and then decided we didn't want to take the people that had applied?
Well,
I'm just asking the city manager or the city attorney.
Yeah, I don't know, Janice would probably be the better one to answer that right now.
We have done several things. You know, we normally do the applications for all the board applicants, and then if sometimes when we have a vacancy and we didn't have very many people interested in, we would just take leftover applicants, or either we re-advertise. It just depends on what you all want us to do.
Is there a legal requirement on this?
No, I think this is discretionary for y'all to fill the vacancies when you're ready. I mean, you want to fill the vacancies because it's a functioning operating board and commission, but it's kind of unusual because you had one just resign last Friday, I believe. So.
Ms. Lancaster, you want to say something?
well, I didn't think that Mr. Dukes was one of the original, but maybe I'm incorrect on that.
No, he wasn't.
Which made me think we only had really one carryover for 2 slots.
Looks like we got his application on July the 16th.
That was after.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
whichever way the council wants to proceed. What-
I would make a motion that we go out and accept some additional. I think that's a very important board.
How long do you want to time it
Let's
for?
don't make it very long. I don't know, week, 2 weeks?
Well, it's your motion, so you
A
decide.
week? I'll say a week.
I second it.
A week? Are we gonna get back together in a week and decide, or what?
Well, I meant no, to accept applications.
Okay.
So the motion is to
Increase.
Extend the application, my understanding is you want to extend the application process for 1 more week,
Give other people an opportunity.
okay?
Since
We have a
somebody who
motion
was-
and a
I second it.
Well, it's already been
Okay.
seconded. Any further discussion on this item? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I need to see if anyone opposed. Okay, those are the ayes.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay.
You got it, Janice?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Item number 13 is receive an update on additional disannexation request received and discuss the procedure. Mr. McElliott?
Mayor and City Council, this is an update on where we stand with our disannexation request for the Airport Road, Highway 271 South area. As you can see from the maps that I provided and that are displayed to the audience, we've been contacted by all persons in red requesting disannexation from the city, either by in person or by written application or by phone call. And the ones in green The two larger tracts in green are the ones, they also requested disannexation, but because it would cut off the eastern part of the city limits, including Coxfield and AgPro, I would not recommend that. I think it goes against your policies and procedures for disannexation that you adopted last summer. It also goes against state case law, which says that a disannexation ordinance which cuts off portions of your city and makes them non-contiguous or cuts them off into a floating island is, the Texas appellate courts have considered that to be a void disannexation, and they haven't recognized it. So I would recommend that you keep a land connection there between your core city on the left and your eastern city boundary limits on the right, at the very least. And as engineering has come up with this map that would do that by keeping the two larger tracts inside the city limits, that allows for a connection down to FM 1508 Airport Road, which would stay in the city limits, and that connects with your Coxfield and your AgPro properties on the eastern boundaries.
If I can start with a question. Mr. Keys, he's the one who pointed out that you don't need contiguous boundaries to keep Coxfield in the airport. That's what you said, right?
Yes, sir.
So I want an update on that. What did we investigate that further, or?
Yes, I don't find that to be the case. In looking at the Texas case law, I don't see that as accurate. Now, if we did not have the airport in the city limits already, that might be different. If we were annexing something that we're not already municipal field or municipal airport, that could be different, but this has been in the city limits for a long time.
So in other words, what you're saying is that what Mr. Keys was saying, that if there's just a road connection, that's not good enough? That's what you said, right?
Essentially, that's what we're doing. We're keeping.
y'all a copy of what the law is.
I don't have that in front of me.
Nothing to do with our disannexation.
Okay.
You can listen to him or you can listen to me.
No, that's fine, thank you. Unless you want to say something more, come on over, please, more.
On part of your map here, the property, is it showing up here? All of these properties, except one, you have applications for or requests for disannexation. I can't pronounce it, Hamedi property, you have an application for. They own Capizi's Restaurant.
That's right. That's the
Yes, sir.
Capizi's people.
The DeVos, you have an application for.
They
The only property that you do not have an application for is the Chambliss property, and that's going to be impossible because she's been dead for 5 or 6 years. We have 30 different owners out there. We have 43 properties, not counting AgPro. And the only one is the Chambliss property that you don't have applications for, and like I say, she's deceased.
Can you tell me which one, refresh our memory, which one's the Chambliss? Is that the one underneath DeVos? That vertical?
It's the 6.5 acre property. I'll give you the number here.
Can you point it with the mouse that you had?
You have a mouse.
Oh, somebody had you had a mouse.
It's a mouse.
Okay.
One of
There we
these, anywhere
go.
around here?
It's this one right. It's the one that's L-shaped.
Oh,
That's the lady that's deceased.
the one in red?
6.5 acres.
The one in red?
Yes.
Okay.
Unless it's the other small red one there. It's a 6.5 acre property.
It's going to be this one.
Yeah, that's going to be smaller.
Yeah.
Anything
The
else?
property ID is 54696. Total taxes for the year are $510.
Anything further, Mr. Key?
No, I'd just like to see an updated map and have everybody on the list. We've got everybody except this lady that's deceased.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Pickle, anything further on this?
Kent, you're saying that we cannot annex the DeVos property or their Capizi's property?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the DeVos property, I did notify you all that red flag that's
Right.
go in the opposite direction. That's the DeVos property also. That's the piece that has his house or their house on it and a small parcel immediately west of that.
So it's
That-
surveyed out separately already?
Those are separate tracts. DeVos has 3 different taxable ID numbers. The big green piece on top, and then the 2 red pieces, including the one that has his house on it, which is the flag, the vertical flag piece. Now, those could be disannexed, as you see. We can disannex those 2 pieces, but not the larger 75-acre.
The one in green?
Undeveloped in green, yes.
Okay, could the DeVosses or Mr. Capizzi go back and have his property resurveyed so that there was a 2-foot section somewhere on the DeVos property and a 2-foot section on the Capizzi's property, so that they could de-annex the whole rest of the entire property?
In theory, you could do, I wouldn't say go in that small, I mean.
Well, I'm just using that as.
Right, as an example. If, in theory, you could do that. You could do a narrower strip. It's got to be, I think, 1,000 feet wide is what we're limited in annexing now under current state law. You can't annex anything that's less than 1,000 feet wide. So
that would be a solution for them.
Right, but that'll throw off the whole design. I mean, yeah, they'll have to come with us and they'll have to survey it and provide it to us and all that, because then we're trying to do this all in one ordinance.
Right.
So we would have to have that resurveyed.
Do we have to have it in one ordinance?
Well, we don't have to, but because of those properties being on the west, yeah, we could hold those off and do those later, I guess.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Clifford?
I mean, I'd like to see those 2 disannexed if it were legally possible to do so, because they desire to be disannexed. But if we can't do that, then I think we probably ought to go ahead. There's been people waiting a while, and do this in 2 phases if there is a second phase that's possible.
Mr. Plata?
I got nothing to say. You know how I feel about it.
Okay.
I have questions on it.
Ms. Lancaster?
I feel pretty well the same way Dr. Clifford does. That what we can de-annex, I think we should. And then those that... Speak up, please. And those that we have problems with, address later. But go ahead and de-annex those that are ready.
May I ask one other question?
Sure.
If these are de-annexed or disannexed, whatever, does this also disannex them or de-annex them from PJC?
I believe so.
It would? So we're making a decision for PJC as well then, aren't we?
I don't know that 100%. I hate to speak for them, because I've just always been told in the past that their district follows the city limit boundaries, or what's included.
Well, and that's what I have too, but if we're given, I'm just curious if we're making a decision that impacts them without their input. And I don't know.
I have not heard anything from them, from Dr. Anglin or anybody at PJC, but that would be something they would have to answer.
Okay, I just was curious. Thank you. Oh, you have an answer? Well, I'll take your answer then.
Yeah, go ahead.
Debbie Hudgens, 6445 FM 1508. When we were annexed, it was automatic that we were taxed PJC. I didn't even know it till we got our tax statement. So it was just automatic. As the attorney said, I believe that's just because of us becoming part of the city, the boundaries are the same for the junior college, and so we just automatically got those. So I would assume that if we're disannexed, we would no longer pay those taxes either, because we would no longer be in the city. So I'm just saying, that's when we got our bill, I'm like, why do we have PJC? Well, we have city. So.
Thank you, Ms. Hudgens. My opinion is the same as I voiced my concerns last time. We have not provided them services, and I think we should allow them to disannex. other than what the attorney suggests. And if it can, they've been waiting for a long time. I think it's time that we proceed with it, and if the other two want to do it and they want to come back with a different solution, that's fine with me. But at this point, to keep everybody held just because of two, I don't think that's a good idea.
So what you're saying is you want to go forward with these two pieces on the right in red and hold off on everything left of that for now?
That's my opinion, but the rest of the council can answer for themselves. Is that what everybody's saying?
Go ahead, you're going to do it anyhow, just do it. Just do it.
Mr. Pickle, is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dr. Clifford?
Yeah, what about these other two red ones, the flag one? Are those tied up in anything? Or will they be part of the whole thing?
We can include those in the first phase.
Okay.
And then just, we'll deal with whatever, if the DeVos and the Mahedi still want to come forward, come back to the council, they can, it's, with a 1,000-foot cutout or something, they can do that. But right now, we don't have that, so we'll go forward with what we have. We'll start the public hearings in late August and in September, and provided that we get the survey from engineering in time, we'll have this ordinance for you for final approval on September 28th, which is the last meeting.
Ms. Hutchins, you want to say something else?
As I said at the last meeting, our property and the Dennison property was approved on June the 8th to be disannexed. I personally think there's been delay tactics so that we will be charged 2015 taxes. Because if that had gone forward, I don't want to read it again. I read it 3 times last time. It's in the June 8th minutes, that we were to be disannexed, Hudgens property and Dennison property. Thank you.
Won't these all be done before October 1st?
Should be. If we get the survey from engineering in time, yes, it will be. It's by September 28th. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Keys, you want to say? Go ahead.
I'd like to remind y'all of when they took in Coxfield, they annexed a 1-inch strip of property down the middle of the road to take it in, and that wasn't right. And I would like to, y'all can do what you want to, and we're hoping you do this, but all of this up here, this doesn't count and all that stuff, that's just, I don't know what it's doing. Shooting the dog or something, but the law is, as enacted and revised on September 1st, 2009, it reads as the majority of the voters of an area. When this started out, the city attorney was telling us it was the majority of the property owners. But actually, it's the majority of the voters of an area. And I'll read it to you if you like. Relating to the procedures for disannexation of a territory from a municipality, be it enacted by the legislature of the state of Texas, Section 1, Sections 4.3.141A and B Local Government Code are amended to read as follows. The registered voters of an annexed area may submit a petition to the governing body of the municipality to require disannexation of the area if the municipality fails to or refuses to provide services or to cause services to be provided to the area within the period specified by Section 43.056 or by the service plan prepared for the area under that section. Now this is saying we can do it this way, or it's the majority of the area. We have 29 of 30, that's a majority. So I don't see what the holdup is on these other people up here. That's the point I want to make.
Thank you.
I'd like to respond, if I can, City Council. I think Mr. Keys is reading from one section of the local government code that talks about circulating a petition where the landowners circulate a petition. They've got to post it out in the area to be disannexed. We're not going that route. We're going under 142, which is a council-generated disannexation. We're nowhere, we don't have everything. You all did not circulate a petition amongst yourselves and have everybody sign it, submit it, and everything that is required under the statute under 141. And if you want to, I mean, that would be totally different than what's been done. You've requested disannexation separately,
I was saying
individually.
that was an option.
Okay.
But we are doing the council route, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Thank you, Mr. Keith. Mr. Plata, you want to say anything further?
No.
Mr. Jenkins? Ms. Lancaster? Okay. What is the next process?
The next process will be the public hearings. It'll start August 24th.
Okay. Do we need to make any further motions on this item?
I don't think so. We've got your direction. We'll move forward.
Okay.
We've got everything. You've approved the map, so we've got the direction.
Council concurs? Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Other than Mr. Gulata, everybody concurs. Okay. All right, item number 13. No, 13 is done. Item number 14, discuss and act on Paris Economic Development Corporation's request for the city attorney's office to provide legal services to PEDC board. This item has been added, and I'm not sure why we need, this is just my own question to the city attorney, I'm not sure why do we need another approval on this, because the thing was never stopped. And I think I tried to tell Mr. Pickle last time too in the PEDC meeting, though I think I think he misread it or he quoted me wrong, so I'm going to correct it, that the city attorney, I never made a motion to stop the city attorney from going to council, to PEDC meetings, which is what you had said.
Right, and I was wrong.
Yeah, and number two is, you also said that I had stopped Ms. Stephanie Harris from going. Ms. Stephanie Harris's name was never.
Well, no, what I said is we just.
Can I finish?
Okay, I'm sorry.
So, Ms. Stephanie Harris's name was never brought up in any of these discussions, and I have copies of the minutes from the meeting where it was approved. So Ms. Harris was never discussed on it. And I'd like to ask a question that when it was not that, why did one council member stop the city attorney from going to the PEDC meeting? Because he was really never stopped to begin with.
Can I answer both of them? Okay, number one, the thing about Stephanie Harris did come up in the executive session, and there are no minutes that are written in the executive session, but it did come up. Number two, Kent asked me if Kent sent an email to all of us. Mm-hmm. And I think there was a question back then that, Ms. Lancaster, did you get your email?
Yeah.
Okay. And he asked if any of us had a problem with it. So I told him I did, and I didn't think he should show up until we knew the council had said, go ahead and go back, because it was based on encouragement from the council that he withdraw himself. And so I felt like that the only way to do this properly was if the council came back and encouraged him to be involved again, or Stephanie Harris to be involved again, or whatever, because we had initiated it in the first place. He did not initiate that in September, August, whenever it was.
June.
Okay, well, that was way back.
I'm not going to go further on this, but I'd only like to say one thing, that I'll get back in just a second. And that is that the council had excused him for only the Deffenbach report as the motion was made. And if you want, I can read you the motion. A motion to recuse the city attorney during the investigation of PEDC was made by Member Hashmi and seconded by Council Member Lancaster, and the motion carried 6-0. He was never stopped from going for other times. And so, as far as I'm concerned, this item is on the agenda to approve, but I don't think it requires an approval because we never stopped him to begin with.
No, we discussed him doing other things for the PEDC, such as incentive agreements, abatement agreements, any other contracts that were not involved in the Deffenbaugh investigation. And it was in that room, the discussion went toward, we don't want him involved in any activities whatsoever hence Mrs. Clifford and myself, and as well as the PEDC board, went to get attorneys for Deffenbaugh investigation, as well as outside attorneys for abatements and incentive agreements, because we were told we could not use Mr. McKillier. And so we went to, there was, the Moore Law Firm was involved, Jeff Moore's firm in Dallas, and there might have even been one other a firm. I think that maybe even Jeff Starnes may have been involved in one or two of them. I don't remember. I know there were some issues with the Moore Law Firm representing one of the firms that we had an incentive agreement with. So that's why it may have been involved with Jeff Moore. That's what it was. So there was.
Lancaster? So are you done?
I think so.
I just wanted to clarify on the email that I said I received. I did receive it. It came about 45 minutes before that meeting. I was not able to read it because I was driving. I don't generally even use my phone when I'm driving, and did not read that email until I was sitting at the table next to you. So because it was extremely close delivery. So I had no real time to, well, I'm just clarifying what happened. I had no time to reflect on it.
No.
So I had no time to raise any objection one way or the other.
Dr. Clifford, any questions? No. Mr. Pilata?
I do have a question for you.
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does it hurt for us to give an okay for him to go back?
No hurt, absolutely.
Just
no problem with it. Mr. Jenkins?
No questions.
Anybody else?
Can I ask, Kent, do you or your staff have the time to take this back on?
I did it for 6.5 years. I can do, we can do it again. I just want to make sure that, the council, that we're not going to get involved. If anything with Deffenbaugh pops back up again, they're going to continue to use the Jeff Moore representation or whoever they want to use for that. But we'll be glad to help them on their meetings and going forward with incentive agreements and that kind of stuff.
Okay, because I do have some concerns, because there were some things that happened with the PEDC that I don't feel like that the city council was kept informed of, and I don't know what kind of assurances we can have of that going forward. And yeah, they involved all this other investigation. They involved, as we've discussed this before, they involved an appraisal. They involved a contract. The things that as the city attorney you were aware of, that the city council was not notified of. And that's my concern as well, is what do we do to ensure that we're kept abreast of what's going on with the PEDC and not having things kept from us. I'm asking the city attorney.
Well, one thing I would point out is that you do have your city council member liaison and mayor connections to the PEDC board, so that's your first way of being kept up to date. And anything, my primary responsibility as city attorney is to the city council and the city of Paris. I'm not at liberty to withhold information related to city business, city affairs from the city council. So that's not going to be a problem for my office.
But it has been.
There was one, if you're talking about the one instance, yeah.
Well, no, there's two. The contract that was signed, that was not the contract you had asked that be signed, and the appraisal, which were two really big issues. I mean, one of them caused everything to happen.
I'm trying to remember which contract you're talking about.
The contract with Deffenbaugh. There was a contract that you drafted up.
Okay.
Between
that was. All right. I understand that ties back into the Deffenbaugh stuff. Yeah.
Is your advice binding? Do people have to follow your advice?
No, sir. I mean, I don't hold a gun to their head. It's just like the city
So
council.
you
I give my
advise it,
advice
that's
and they choose to follow it or not follow it. That's correct.
So there really wasn't a problem then, correct?
I don't even, I don't really want to
Okay.
rehash all that. We've spent a great deal of time on all that. Unless you all want to talk to me about it in executive session, I'll get into some of that if you want to rehash it in executive session.
Okay, we are kind of getting off the agenda here. So the concern over here is, do we allow the city attorney? Personally, as I said, I have no problem allowing it now. Personally, I never had a problem to begin with as far as anything else with PEDC is concerned. So that's my opinion.
One other thing, can I ask if
Who are you asking?
well, the council too, if we are going to approve or roll on or whatever we do. I know that during the discussions with the PEDC, that they indicated that they would be willing to pay the city attorney's cost while he was involved in PEDC activities. Are we going to allow him to bill the PEDC for his involvement, or are we going to look the other way?
If the question is towards me, I can answer that I really don't care whether you take it out of this pocket and put it in this, or take it out of this and this. So I really don't care. I think the city, PEDC is part of the city, city council is part of the city, and city attorney is part of the city. And I see no reason to unnecessarily charge PEDC for his services to the PEDC. He's a city employee, it's a city organization. And so just like he can provide direction to other boards, he can provide direction to PEDC.
Well, they offered. I'm just saying, are we going to pass up the opportunity to take them
Personally,
up on their
I pass
offer?
up. Let them have the money to do something which is more important than paying the city attorney's fee. Anyway, this is just my Ms. Lancaster.
I have no problem.
Mr. Jenkins?
I have no questions for you.
Mr. Pilata?
I have nothing, sir.
No.
Okay. So, do we need a motion on this item, or do you just provide direction that you can go back to what you were supposed to be doing anyway, right? Or would you feel more comfortable if we made a motion?
I would like to go ahead and get a motion. since
Okay,
it's
I'll
on
make a
first
motion that we allow the city attorney to return back,
second.
Or city attorney's office.
or city attorney's office.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
Uh,
Okay. Item number is 15. Discuss and act on change order number 1 of contract B1 and B Bray Construction, increasing the amount by $18,030 for 2013 water and sewer capital improvement program. Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Matt Abbey. I'm the product manager for AECOM for the contract B1. And of course, this is Mike Donnan with.
Can you come closer to the mic and speak up, because people have a hard time here.
Okay, yes. My name is Matt Abbey. I'm with AECOM. I'm the project manager for contract B1 of the 2013 CIP, and I'm here to represent the AECOM project team. This is Mike Donnan with Hayter Engineering as well. That's also part of the team.
Okay. Mr. Godwin, you want to address this?
No, this is just a change order. There's two parts of the change order. One is a financial thing for the $18,000. And the second part is to extend the timeline on the project, mostly due to weather, but also due to some work issues that came along. The engineers are here to present any information or answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Mr. Napier, you have anything to add to this or no?
No, sir, they pretty well covered.
Okay. Anyone from the council has any questions? Mr. Prickle?
no, sir.
Dr. Clifford?
No questions.
Mr. Pilata?
No.
Mr. Jenkins?
No questions.
Ms. Lancaster?
No questions.
All right, I think we need a motion on this item.
I make the motion to approve it.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No, thank you. Item number 16 is discuss and possibly act on information received about the contract specification for TWDB Phase 1 water replacement and work performed. Ms. Lancaster, is this your item?
This is my item. I'd like to begin talking about it, but I've just even now received information that I requested, so I can't really complete what I want to say. I think I received quite a lot of information, but there's still quite a lot more out there. I became very interested in the 3rd Street, that's part of, project when I found out that the old line was still there and hadn't been abandoned. That concerned me. I remember it had an effect on the Church Street connection when they tried to figure out which one to tie on to and how they were going to work. Now you have an old line and a new line side by side going down 3rd northeast. All the fire hydrants are painted the same. I don't know how the fire department tells what's good, what's not good, but if they were bad lines and they had to be replaced, there's got to be a bad line there. And I wondered what in the world was going to happen when a fire truck latched onto the wrong fire hydrant. Was the line going to blow? What was going to happen? Plus the fact it's going to cost more than a little bit of money to take that other line up, and I was trying to find in the contract, was that original company going to come back and take it out, or were we going to have to take it out? And that information I don't totally have. I think maybe Dr. Clifford has some of that information and he can be helpful, and I'm hoping I'll have to put it back on for next time because I just got this.
Yeah, I got some of the same stuff you got, and I just got a few minutes ago some of the key information.
Would you like to table this item for a future time?
I have some discussion I have even now.
I think we'd like to go ahead and tackle part of it.
I'd like to ask either Mr. Godwin or Mr. Napier. But I understand that the water lines on 3rd Street were old and were failing, and they were causing repairs, and it was recommended they were to be replaced. But in addition to installing the new line, the contractor agreed and was legally required to provide certain services. And to quote the contract, it said, quote, line abandonment of existing 20-inch main. Also, quote, remove old fire hydrants and abandon, and there were 14 of them. I know some of them have been removed, but a significant number of them have not been removed. There were several other items on the contract that pertain to abandonment. Anyway, some of the fire hydrants, they found some of the valves and correct me if I'm wrong here, they found some of the valves and they shut them off, and they moved a lot of them over, but they were unable to find some of the other valves. So the line that was presumably unreliable and was going to cause extensive street repair, the whole purpose of this was to replace this line and shut this line off. But this is a line that still has high pressure water within it. I mean, is that correct? Does it still have high pressure? Is it still pressurized? Is it still active?
There is still a line that's pressurized, and it's still in use. Just to clarify, and you probably already know this, but abandonment doesn't mean that they're going to be dug up and moved.
No, I understand.
They're just abandoned in place.
But they're going to cut.
And there was the one line that we were not able to find because some of these valves are decades old. Some of the older council members, longer serving council members, recalled that we were going through a difficult time with the contract. The contractor was failing to perform. And at that point, we came to the city council and recommended that you cut that contract off early. We got a significant deduction on that contract, so that money's still available. We also went back to the Texas Water Development Board, shared with them our problems. At that point, we got funding for a phase 3, which is about to start construction, and that will take care of those problems as well as the extra fire hydrants you mentioned a couple of weeks ago. So it has been an odd project. It was a failure by that contractor. We talked about that a year and a half ago.
And my problem is simply that it seems like the contractor picked and chose what he wanted to do.
I have nothing good to say about the contractor.
Yeah, because they were required to remove that, and it's going to cost a lot more to remove it than fulfilling the contract. I mean, we could have forced them to fulfill the contract, but we didn't. I mean, did we vote? I don't know. I honestly don't.
Yes, that was a decision that was made. It was brought to the council. It was nothing staff did on their own or in the dark. That was a recurring problem, and that was the best way we felt like to address it. The Texas Water Development Board concurred with that as well, so we did research it and we did work with that, and we did get a significant credit back from that, frankly, very bad contractor.
Right, they really messed up on 3rd and turning down into West Kaufman.
Absolutely.
Which caused more problems with Church Street, which is bad enough as it is.
Absolutely.
Anything further, Dr. Clifford?
I would like to have the option to bring this back because I haven't had a chance to look at all of the information.
And for those two council members, anybody else that wants the information, again, I think as I handed you those discs, there's still more information, we're still gathering
Right,
additional.
I
So you will get more
understood
between now
that,
and
but there's
then.
more to come.
Right.
Mr. Bickle?
Roll on.
Mr. Pilata?
No.
Mr. Jenkins?
No more questions right now.
I have no questions. Do you want to table this item and bring it back?
I'd like
or-
to bring it back because I haven't seen
So
everything.
you want the item to?
How would we act on this anyway? What would we do?
Well, I don't know, but there's
Shoot
some.
the contractor?
Well, we could.
That is
if
one-
we order- if
that's
we
one
thought the work had been
suggestion.
done Properly, we could get an inspection if we thought it
Yeah.
had been done properly. That'd be one thing we could do.
But we could not go against the contractor because the contractor's already, we've already gone against him and gotten.
We could at least order an inspection to see what the situation is.
Okay.
I'm not saying we would, but we could.
Okay.
All right, so make a motion, please, for whatever you want to do.
I make a motion to be able to bring back the additional information if there's something pertinent.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? All right. Item number 17, receive presentations on operation plans, budget needs for utilities department.
Just real quickly by way of introduction, last council meeting, we started off with 3 of our 5 big departments, EMS, police, and fire. And tonight we've got Doug Harris and Jerry McDaniel will be presenting utilities and public works are the 2 major departments. And then at your next meeting, you'll actually get a copy of the recommended budget. So,
Doug, before you start,
Yes, sir.
you know, since it's part of the budget and you mentioned it last time, could you tell me, you were showing statistics on that we were lower amongst all the surrounding cities?
correct. We did a survey of 25 cities as far as their tax rates are concerned. Of those 25 cities, there were, I believe it was 20 cities were higher than us, some of them significantly so. For example, frankly, one of staff's pet peeves is Greenville because people compare us to Greenville. Well, they're so much nicer than us, they got all this nicer stuff. Their tax rate's 69.9 cents versus our 50. That's about an extra $1 million a year. I'm not recommending a 69.9 cent tax rate, I think that's way too high. But it does make a difference in your resources, so.
What does $1 million actually cost per individual household in Paris? If
1 cent on the tax roll represents about $150,000 a year of income to the city. The average home price, different kinds of properties, but the average assessed value on a home in Paris is about $79,000. So each penny on the tax roll is $7.90 a year. So again, I'm not here to say raise taxes, because I'm not a fan of that either for the most part. But a lot of people think, oh, raising taxes is horrible, and you don't want to, you don't have to. But the average homeowner would pay $7.90 if you raised it by a penny.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Harris.
Excuse me. Mayor and City Council, I'm here tonight to brief you on the capital expenditures that we have been identifying with the assistance of Utilities Department staff and personnel. And after a lengthy discussion of these priorities with the city manager, tonight I will present to you the highest priorities as far as the Utilities Department is concerned. And I'll apologize to you beforehand if my voice goes out. Allergies have been affecting me the last couple of days, so that's why I sound. Just bear with me, please. So we're going to begin with water production, which is Department 82. And the capital expenditures for water treatment, water production, and these are listed in priority order. Number 1 is going to be rehabilitation of our mixed media filters at the water treatment plant. Now, what I need to point out about these mixed media filters, it has to do with design criteria of the media in those filters, and TCEQ has come to us and said, you're going to redo these. Now, we have a phased approach to rehabbing these filters, and this amount, $270,000, will take care of 2 of those filters, possibly 3. Now, ultimately the goal is to complete as much work in-house with existing department personnel as possible, but in order to progress completion of the entire project, it will also include hiring an outside contractor to come and assist as well. And one thing I do need to point out, this is a TCEQ mandate. They have told us we're going to do it. So,
You said 3 filters, but how many total are there?
Mr. Pickle, we have 10 total.
Okay.
We have completed 1 with in-house personnel. And to be honest, with the other maintenance responsibilities, that project took an exorbitant amount of time. You have to remove all the existing media from a filter. You have to go down to the under drain system, and I don't want to go into a lot of details, but with the number of personnel that we have now, it took a lot longer than what we wanted the project to take. But to answer your question, we have 10. 1 is completed, so we have 9 more to go.
I don't want to make this meeting go any longer than normal, but just as an opportunity to brag about some employees, the fact that they were able to do this in-house was amazing. And so the guys and gals at the wastewater treatment plant are super employees, and I always like to be able to do that publicly when I can, so I'll be quiet.
Thank you, John. I appreciate that. The second priority for water production is going to be transfer pump valve replacement. And again, I don't want to get real technical. If you want to come out to the plant sometime, I can show you exactly what we're talking about. But we have 4 high and low service pumps at the water treatment plant. What those pumps do, they send the treated water to town. Okay? Well, with those pumps, we also have valves, and they're the transfer valves. These are very old, antiquated valves. Okay? It's a very essential component in our distribution process to actually push that water to town. And this $60,000 that has been included in the capital expenditures for next budget year, that will take care of 2 of the 4 transfer pump valves. Last one, and again, this comes from lengthy discussions with the city manager. It's an addition of 1 maintenance employee, but this new employee would not begin until midway through the budget year, so it would be April 1st. Now, some may ask, why do we need more maintenance personnel? And the easiest answer to that is, with each passing year, the infrastructure that we have gets another year older, and it either needs to be replaced, or you have to have the people out there to maintain that year-older infrastructure. And what our plan is, what we've identified, is having additional personnel on hand. This will allow water treatment to complete more projects in-house instead of being forced to contract outside the department. Some of our long-term priorities, again, it goes back to number 1 on the list, is actually completion of the rehab project for the mixed media filters. Number 2, and this is a very important priority, it should be a very important priority to the city of Paris, but that is to actually expand the pumping volume capacity from Pat May's intake. And lastly, a goal in Departments 82, 86, and 87 is we're always looking to improve the infrastructure, the buildings and grounds at each plant. So if you have any questions about water production, or if you want to wait till the end, I'll leave that up to you.
Anyone have any questions?
So when you say long-term of rehab of the media filters, so in essence, you're basically going to schedule 270 this year, 270 next year, and okay.
Yes, originally it was going to be a 5-phase project, completing 2 filters per year over the span of 5 years. That's one of the things at TCEQ, they want to be assured that council has set aside money to begin this project. And if they get that documentation, they will come back and approve that compliance plan, that compliance schedule that has already been requested.
So it's not something we've got to get done in a year? And
exactly,
okay.
Because we would be talking a little over $1 million to do all 10 at once.
Anybody else? No. Keep going.
All right, moving on to wastewater treatment, Department 86. We're ready to begin what should be considered phase 1 of the path down to a new wastewater treatment plant. Now, this $320,000 that you will see in your budget, proposed budget, that will pay for conceptual design of a new facility, a new wastewater treatment facility. Okay? Garver Engineering, who was introduced to you back in January of this year as the project engineer, they have been assisting the city of Paris with financing options, and we have actually to date submitted a grant application with the Water Development Board, which back early in the spring, council had to approve a resolution so we could even apply for that grant. And the second is Clean Water State Revolving Fund, which is low interest loan programs. Now, as far as the grant goes, City of Paris did make the list, the priority list as they put it. Unfortunately, we fell at number 5, and by the time they got down to number 3, there was no funding left for the grant application. As far as the loan application, that is still in the works. We had a conference call with the Water Development Board a couple of weeks ago, and in that conference call, a priority list has been developed. Paris doesn't look like they're going to be in the first round of invitations, but we're still holding out hope that perhaps some that are in the first round may not take the money that's available, and therefore that may release additional funding. So anyway, funding applications have been in the works, and if for some reason Paris isn't successful this year, we'll do it again next year. Second is replacement of digester aerators, and a digester is just simply an essential component to our whole wastewater treatment process. The aerators that need replacing have been in operation since, if I'm not mistaken, 1997, and it's more and more difficult to even get parts to repair these, and they need to be replaced. Some of the long-term priorities: completion of engineering design of a new treatment plant, and eventually construction of a new plant itself. Number 2 on the long-term priorities is an additional 10-inch transmission line from the master lift station to the wastewater treatment plant. And lastly, just like with water production improvements to facilities and grounds. So any questions about wastewater?
If I may, Mr. Plata, any questions?
Not really.
Okay. Mr. Pickle?
The 10-inch influent line from the master lift station, how much is that?
We're talking well over the $150,000 to $200,000 range. Now, keep in mind, if I may interrupt before you ask the question, if we get through conceptual design with the engineering firm and they make some recommendations about where to actually locate the master lift station, that may become a moot point.
Okay.
That could be completely removed from our long-term priorities.
Okay.
Dr. Clifford? Sorry, you have something else?
No, he answered where I was headed.
Dr. Clifford? No questions. Mr. Jenkins?
No questions.
Ms. Lancaster?
No.
I've none.
All right, lastly, lift stations, Department 87. Only a couple of capital expenditures have been requested for fiscal year 2015-2016. Number 1 is replacement of some of the valves at our flow equalization basin. If some of you remember, we had some issues back at the first part of April with the failure of a line at the flow equalization basin that really caused the city of Paris quite a few headaches. Now, that wasn't the actual valve that failed at that point, but we have had valves fail there before. $30,000 will replace a portion of antiquated valves that are in existence out there, and it will put Paris in a much safer, less risk type of situation as far as that facility is concerned. Second is they need to replace a 1997 model pickup truck. I can't remember how many miles are on this truck they're using now. I believe it's approaching 300,000 miles. So that's the only other capital expenditure for lift stations themselves. Some of the long-term priorities, number one is to have backup power at each of the 18 lift station facilities. Backup power as in generators or backup power as in portable pumps. That's a long-term priority. Installation of screening at the flow equalization basin. Currently, we don't have any screening upstream of the wastewater treatment plant. Now, with screening in place, that removes a lot of the large debris, which protects the pumps that are between there and the wastewater treatment plant. It also keeps a lot of the debris, other debris that comes through. And again, just like with the additional 10-inch influent line, it's possible this may be addressed in conceptual design of a new wastewater treatment plant. Lastly, improvements to all of our lift station infrastructure, protective coatings on wet wells, pump and motor replacement, and that sort of thing. So any questions about lift stations?
Anyone? No.
In this last page, I'm not going to read all the department goals. A good summary of this is the main goal of the utilities department is to simply protect the health and safety of the citizens of Paris. That's our number one priority. And we hope to complete that. We hope to accomplish that, continue to accomplish that goal while operating in the most efficient and the most cost-effective manner to save citizens, taxpayers as much as possible. So that's my presentation for tonight. I'd be happy to answer any questions any of you may have.
Anyone has any questions?
Yeah, I want to kind of tell you. I don't want to ask you a question. I want to tell you.
Okay.
I'm kind of not in agreement needing a new sewer treatment plant. I work in maintenance myself, and I believe if you upkeep it, it can be real old and it can still operate. That thing was made to operate. So if you hear me say I don't agree with you, I hope you don't get upset.
Not at all. Not at all. I understand.
Well, since he has asked that question, I have to say something. If we don't think that there is a requirement for a new sewer treatment plant, is it worth spending the money for conceptual designing of a new sewer treatment plant? I mean, we are spending quite a bit of money on designing. If we strongly feel that there is no need for it, then why are we spending that much money on it?
I'm just one person.
Well, that's why I'm asking all throughout.
Mayor, may I address the statement? We have a treatment plant in place now that you, ladies and gentlemen, should be very proud of the employees that work at the wastewater treatment plant, because they do one fantastic job of keeping aged, antiquated infrastructure operating on a daily basis. They keep the city of Paris in compliance with state and federal law because they do such a fantastic job at the wastewater treatment plant. And I know I'm proud of them, and you should be as well. The issue is there's only so much they can do with what they have. So yes, we do have a choice, and maintenance is ongoing every day. But just like with the water plant, with each year that passes, those things get one year older. So we would have a decision to make. Do we invest lots of money into just keeping something that's out there going? Or do we invest money up front to get better infrastructure in place that perhaps is less labor intensive as far as maintenance goes? So that's my point that I wanted to make.
City manager.
Well, I'll just give a shorter answer. We absolutely need a new one. This one was built in World War II, not an exaggeration, World War II. I'll stop.
Okay.
We're not getting new industry. We're not, the city's not ain't getting new people. We're not growing by leaps and bounds. Well, my take is, if we were growing, people are de-annexing because they don't want to be part of the city. So, if we started growing, get businesses in, I could see it. I could see it, but we're not. So, I'm just saying, you're asking, I think like $35 million for a new plant. Is that correct?
That was the last figure that we were presented with, yes, it was.
And I don't see, I think myself, if we're gonna put that kind of money, our roads and everything else need fixing for that. But that's my take on it.
Okay.
Anybody?
Since we are talking about, we're not talking about expanding the treatment plant, we're talking about replacing the existing infrastructure. And just like I said, those men out there do a fantastic job of keeping the city of Paris in compliance. There is going to come a point where they're not going to be able to do that. So,
how far are we from that point?
I wish I had an answer for you. I do not.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, my thought is that probably in World War II, about World War II, when that water plant was built, it was built probably to specs based on not TCEQ back then, but the regulations that we had to follow then. And they've had to Band-Aid it because, let's face it, since World War II, look at all the regulations that we've got slapped on us. And so you've had to Band-Aid and chicken wire, duct tape stuff to make it work that it wasn't designed to handle in the first place.
Anybody else? No?
All right, thank you all for your
Thank you
time.
very much. Before you start, I do want to recognize one individual over here who has been very consistent in coming to the meetings, which is our new Chamber of Commerce guy. So if you can please stand so that everybody knows who you are. He's been very consistent in coming to all the city council meetings, and so we really appreciate it, and hopefully it works out for you and for us. Thank you. All yours.
Mayor, Council.
Is it going to be as short as his?
John says no.
I do want to thank the city manager as well, because I think it was great to start early on this. So appreciate it.
You're getting into his time.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Public Works Department, of course, our actual budget is kind of reflective of our last year. There's a few changes in it, some vehicle replacement and that type of stuff that you've seen. But what I wanted to go in on was just a few items here. Trail to Paris, kind of give you an update on it. We kind of originally talked about a $215,000 budget. When this thing went out for bid, we only received two bids, one for $362,000 and the other for $397,000. So that was a major reconstruction of the trail from the loop to Collegiate Drive. So what we've done, we'll actually go in, we'll bring these two bids to council to reject those. So we're doing some value engineering on it and also doing some specification revisions. So hopefully, and it still looks like we're gonna be in the dollar range. We got some figures today of close to 300,000 for a complete reconstruction if we decide to do that.
What is valve engineering?
Sir?
It's
What?
supposed to be value.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just thought.
Okay, we'll carry on to road equipment. Of course, they've requested for it's a Lee Boy, it's a mid-size motor grader. Of course, it's a request, is not budgeted, but I just want you to kind of be aware of future needs for the department. We have a couple of the older, bigger motor graders. One's an 86 model, in bad need of maintenance and repair. We keep it going with, baling wire and duct tape, but we keep it going. The other one is still in pretty good condition. The mid-size motor grader would actually let us come in and do some little additional road work within the city, which at some point, not just having a street department budget, we'd like to add some dollars in there for some yearly annual minor reconstructs of different areas, which we've actually kind of got Dr. Hashmi initiated the 60,000 for the 3 areas, which has really helped us get some stuff done. So just kind of want to go in on that.
Excuse my ignorance, but can you explain to me what that machine is? What does it do exactly?
What's that?
The first one.
It's just a name brand. It's a 685
No,
Lee Boy.
what does it do is what I'm asking.
It is a motor grader. What it does is you can blade level, clean ditches, turn Scarfire asphalt, lay new asphalt.
Thank you.
Yeah, blade it out.
It's a road grader.
Okay.
Road grader, yes.
Road grader.
I'm not that technical, so.
Okay, I kind of just want to, I'll give you all a pack on a recycle thing here. We've looked at all kinds of options and just from, there's trailers available out there that you can get grants on, but you have to unload them, you have to transport them. It's just not very economical or cost worthy to the city. So kind of in a discussion, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Progressive Waste Management. This is just kind of the proposal we got from them. And we're looking at roughly, $9,500 a year. Now that's basically what we averaged that on was 8 sites. That's 10 containers, recycled containers placed throughout the city. And 2 of those sites will have 2 of the containers. They're 11-yard containers. And what that does is that lets people come to the site and put in their recyclables. Okay, so the reason we did the 10 was because one truck can hold the 100 cubic yards that this would get. So we're just talking about a cycle for each one. Now that's just once a month. So basically is what that is at this cost. If we thought we was going to generate a lot of recycle and it needed to be twice a month, then we double that for a budget. Okay, the kickback to that is on what goes to the landfill would no longer go to the landfill. It would go to recycle. So with every truckload that went to the recycle center, you're basically it's $56 because we pay $113 for the 20-yard. But flip to the second page, and that's kind of the savings on that. Just kind of wanted to note when you sell the recycles, it's recycled compacted material is average 35 pounds per yard, where trash is about 85. So if you're thinking, we got a yard 80, it's a reduced price there. There is a profit sharing at the end of it that when they sell, the recycle center sells their material, then there is a payback to the city. And they didn't give me an exact, so we put an approximately 20% in there. So there's a little savings. It is a cost to the city starting up and getting this thing going. We even looked at the compartmental bins, and that's out. That's history because nobody used them correctly. So they were still having to sort, so they've got away from that. And so that's just kind of the recycling. If we want to get into it and budget the dollars, that's kind of what we're looking at.
So I have a little question on this.
Yes.
So bottom line is, how much does it actually cost? Go to the previous slide, please.
Okay.
See, it says 9,392 per year with 1 pickup a month.
That's 1 pickup a month.
Yeah. Now, if you subtract the cost that we have to pay for the landfill and the money that we get back from it, have we averaged out how much does it come to exactly?
Well, just that one truck, we're paying $782. Okay, that's per trip a month.
Okay.
Out of that, you would actually get, that's 100 cubic yards. So you, I mean, you'd save probably $260
Okay.
of landfill
So it
cost.
costs about, around about $600. So it will come to about 72, instead of 93, it will be $7,200 a year if we were to start recycling in 10 spots and once a month.
Roughly, yes.
Okay.
Roughly.
Is that including the money you get back from the recyclables? Did you deduct?
No, that's because we don't know what that is.
You surely got a ballpark estimate, even though, assuming some utilization.
Well, and they couldn't even tell us what they're getting right now. Some of their glass recyclable, they're having to pay they're not being paid for it. They have to pay for the glass, because what this does is recycle rotates kind of with the market in China. I mean, seriously, China hits here 2 or 3 years and they buy all the recyclables and then they're done. They don't buy for 2, and they're in that lull right now to where it's actually costing them money to recycle. They're shutting their facilities down. You know, it's just kind of where it is right now.
Mr. Godwin, do you think $7,300 or $7,000 is a lot of money for?
No, I think we should absolutely do it as quickly as we can.
Okay. Anybody has any further questions on recycling from Mr. McDaniel?
Now keep in mind, now if recycling hits really big and we have to dump twice, then that's a double cost. So.
But then you might actually make some more money too.
And yes, you generate more.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I've also give you a handout on the parks plan, which everybody is very aware of. We've got 2 parks that we need to really do something with as soon. The parks plan, the master's plan, was adopted in 2013. 2014, we missed the opportunity to work on Wade Park, which was kind of on the track to that, as you can look at your handout and see where we're at. 2016 upon us. You know, we're looking at the other cost of the $500,000 that they had put in there for these. I'm not saying that that's what we need to do, but I feel like we need to do something. And it lists the amenities there that goes into the park. Is all of that needed right now? It'd be great, but be realistic, and we could hit those 2 parks and with maybe some partials and get something out of it from that. Anybody got any questions on that?
Anyone?
Yeah, I do. Both places you got new playgrounds. I mean, I don't, Leon Williams Park's basically got some new playgrounds just now, and Wade Park has got 2 parks that aren't even being utilized usually. So but is that just something that you do all the time, is put new playgrounds in parks?
Well, no, this is based off that master park plan. That's the reason I said that is $500,000 really a good number per park. We could do a lot with half of that. I mean, of course, that's not my decision. I just want to bring this stuff up to you, let you know that there is a parks plan in place, and we are getting farther and farther behind as the years go by. So some of the equipment is, they change the safety ratings on a lot of that stuff, and from year to year. So a lot of that's included.
Anything further? No. Keep going.
Keep going. Okay. All right, drainage. This is an ongoing problem. Just going to do a quick rundown on it. We are able to do some in-house, and I think we've accomplished a lot, especially with the rains that we had. We were able to help alleviate a lot of the problems. Now, did we fix everything? No way. And there was a plan in 2013 that KSA updated from a 92 Hayter plan. And out of these, it was a 10-year, $9 million project that nobody, we haven't done. So we've kind of identified and working with John on some projects. One of their projects, which was project number 1 and 2, it was 5th in Austin and 8th to Washington. The dollars, we still don't have that rounded down exactly to it. Another one was project number 4 and 5, which is the Buttermilk Creek, which from Collegiate to Big Sandy, south of Clarksville. You've got another one that is part of Johnson Woods, the ditch back there in the 3100 block of Johnson Wood. Part of that's gonna get redone from the sewer line project, but there's still from Mahaffey back to Lamar that is gonna need some attention. So we're trying to get those dollars together to kind of see where we're at and, just throw it out there at you that, we just keep getting farther behind and a lot of work to be done, so. We did get a price, Dr. Clifford, on 41st Street there on 82 at a price of about $65,000. What that does is that straightens that ditch out. It pulls it back off of the roadway for the danger of being right at the edge of the roadway. It clears and grubs all the vegetation, makes it mobile slopes. It'll go from 82, following 41st to that first house, cleans all that out, and then actually will turn and go back behind the property where the new DPS office, I guess, is what it is, going to be built there. So, it's doable. It's at a cost, but there's our number. So,
Mr. McDaniel?
Yes.
One second. Is this the one that we saw on the trip?
That's the ditch we saw.
The one that the kids were going and swimming in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. And that's just an example.
Do you cover that ditch up with something, or is this just a cleanup? Because even if you clean it up, it's still a bit.
Would this be paved? I mean,
No, that is just a mobile slope, flat bottom.
And no cover on top?
No cover. I mean, it's.
I don't think that solves the problem.
That wouldn't solve the problem at all.
No, I mean, that's, how much money you want to put on it. That's where we're at, unfortunately.
No, because I think one of the bigger important things was that people were concerned because there are snakes in there and you can't really see that ditch.
Well, it's right across the street
to go in and the kids go in and
Right,
stand
I
there.
agree.
And so
I agree.
either if you are going to fix it, then you need to cover it so that people don't go in there.
And it's right across the street from that little roadside park.
Right.
So that increases.
I mean, we can go back and price box culverts and all of that stuff that would get it covered, but, that's just one of many, many, many open ditches that we have in Paris.
Take care of Johnson's Woods first, please.
So.
All right.
You better, I just asked, but my opinion, before you cover a ditch, you better really think about it, because sometimes they create more problems than they help. That stuff gets clogged up in them. It's sometimes it's not good to cover a ditch like that.
Well, and with that one being right there on the, Tex Dot right away and a lot of highway water, I mean, it's a lot goes through there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. Let's move over to this last one, where I don't take as long as Doug did. Is the tennis court repair and maintenance. Paris Junior College, they do have 4 courts that are in pretty good shape. They need to be resurfaced, and they can be done at a total of $36,000. That's $9,000 a piece. It includes the new service, wearable service. You can pick the color, of course, and it includes the net, straps, and post. So, if that's something that you'd like to look at.
The city owns those?
They're owned by PJC, but under contract can be used by the city, but city maintains them.
Oh.
Yeah. And Culbertson Park, which we know how those, as a matter of fact, the schools have even quit using Culbertson because of the bad conditions that those are in. They're now going to other places. And we were just asked to look at that, and refurbishing the 6 existing courts, you're looking at about $30,000 each, a total of $180,000 to do all 6 courts. One option we do have is to completely demo and rebuild 4 new courts at $46,000 a piece, which is $184,000. You turn one of the old courts, you resurface it, turn it into a basketball court, and then just completely demo the other one. So, I mean, there's options. It could even be less courts if we deem that's what we needed to do. So, I guess that pretty much concludes my presentation. Is there any questions? Or?
Anyone? Thank you.
I had a question, but I forgot. Pause.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question?
It's a water, kind of a water feature.
Just sprays water.
It's like what they're doing at First Methodist now.
Yeah, First Methodist. Mm-hmm.
Similar to that.
Anybody else?
Hey, can you go back to a little bit? Yeah, right. Trail to Parish rehabilitation. I thought I was my understanding the city wasn't gonna do that?
Yes.
Your crew wasn't gonna do that?
Well, we actually have already started some of the clearing and grubbing and the grading, but this is just the contractor price for milling and adding the rock and the new base, and of course, we go do the soil samples and soil tests to make sure we get the distances.
You guys you don't have the crew that go in and put the base down and create a good base for it? You gonna contract all that?
Well, yeah, that the price in that was the contract. Now, yeah, I mean, we do have crews that do that. Of course, we take them away from the street projects that we've got going now, which this project was hopefully going to start, pretty soon, and we're in the middle of our chip seals right now. So, I'm not saying we can't do it at a later time. Of course, weather is pretty important when we get it done.
Well, you need to be on the streets, I agree, but if this is gonna cost that much, maybe you need to push this back just a little bit. That's just me. Maybe we can talk about that later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before we go to the next item, can I make a motion to bring item number 22 up? Since Reverend Price is here and he has made a request, can I get a second on the motion? All in favor to move this item up? Anyone opposed?
The one about consider future events?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Reverend Price has requested, and the lady has requested that the city council take a tour of the area that they want. Does anyone have any objection to going on that tour? If not, then let's schedule it so that maybe once the weather is a little bit better, because it's terribly hot outside. So, again, with the rest of the council's consent, if we can pick out a time when he wants us to go. All right, anything further on future events? No? Okay, we'll go back to the agenda item, which is item number 19. Discuss and act on financing of construction of our drainage and park project. I need a motion to untable this item.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Actually, initially I had placed this item on the agenda, and I appreciate Mr. Banks' input on this item from the Citizens Forum. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Anderson. This amount that we were thinking of doing was not based on some bonds which were maturing. This was based on the interest that we are paying less than what we had anticipated to. Correct?
Actually, it's based on the fact that our payments that we're making, which are both principal and interest, have reduced on that 2012 refunding issue.
Okay. So there's one little correction. It's not more credit. Well, I suppose it's more credit, but the thing is, it's not against some maturing bonds. It's because of the interest rate that has gone down, or what we'll be paying less interest and payment.
Yeah. Our bond issues are normally 20 years, and they're approximately level pay, but they're not exactly. And we're just at a point in paying this one off where the payment just drops that much.
Okay. All right. Mr. Pickle?
What?
You want to say anything about it?
Well, I give up. I don't know what to say. I don't know anything about it.
It's the same item that was presented last time, do you remember?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I don't know what we're gonna do, what drainage projects comes under this, or what park projects come under this.
Well, they were going to bring it back. If we were to go forward with it, they will bring the projects back to us. That is what was discussed.
So the question is, do we want to go forward with discussing it?
The question is that do we discuss and move forward with a certificate of obligation, and then have the city bring back projects for drainage and parks? That was the question.
Oh, you mean go ahead and approve the $2-something million to that?
Yeah.
Oh, heck no.
Okay.
And just to clarify, the beginnings of that is what Jerry just presented.
Right.
You do have a parks plan that's got those two parks that were number 1 and number 2 on the list. And then those drainage projects, he identified 4 drainage projects for you, 4 significantly sized drainage projects. We just don't have the prices on that yet. But those are the projects that we're talking about, if we're going to do that.
So, okay, but we're talking about obligating us for how much?
2.5 million.
2.5 million.
And let me jump in yet again, I'm sorry. Just to refresh your memories on how that process works. In order to issue certificates of obligation, if the council chooses to do that, you must hold a public hearing on that and you go through those specific processes. So this doesn't mean tomorrow we go out and sell COs if you say go forward. It would mean that the city attorney would, or not in this case, the bond attorney would prepare the specific documents and would put that on a future agenda for you to act on. So it does require a public hearing.
And so we will still have public input at that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're required by law. Okay.
But I'm totally opposed to something that we don't have it actually, so people, I don't want to commit us to $2.5 million that the council nor the citizens know exactly what the projects we're going to do. I mean, federal government does that now. Trust us and we'll pass the bill and you can read it later.
Dr. Clifford?
I have no problem with it, with moving forward, looking into it some more.
Mr. Plata?
I would like to see the projects myself that we're going to do, and I kind of understand that you're saying they're going to go toward these ditchy stuff that we don't have the money for right now. Is that correct? We kind of don't have the money to do this right now. Some of it's going to alleviate that problem.
Up to a point, and just to clarify again, for anytime you issue bonds, whether it's GOs or COs, it can only be for capital construction. So it's not for maintenance, and it's not for cleaning out ditches, it's for construction. So this would be to reconstruct an existing channel or a ditch or facility, or to build a new one. And the council does have that $9 million list. There's about 4 projects. We're in the process of trying to get prices on those. There may be enough money for 1 or for 2 or for 3. We don't know that. We'll have that back for you by August the 10th, again, assuming you want to proceed with that. So we will have those specific projects. But I certainly agree. We don't just say, trust us for $2.5 million, because that's bad government, and y'all wouldn't do that anyway, and I'm not going to ask you to. So, but we'll have specifics, again, if you want to pursue that.
I'm not saying I'm not opposed to it. I'm actually kind of for it, but I would like to, before I say yes, go forward, I'd like to see the projects, and I think the people would like to see the projects they're going to go to first.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's
Mr. Jenkins?
I'd like to move forward with it.
Ms. Lancaster?
I'd like to move forward with it.
I have no strong feelings one way or another. I think we can move forward with it because we are not, the final approval will still be pending after you bring it and after the public hearing. But interest rates are low. I think there is no better time to do it, and it's not a huge amount of money that we expose ourselves to. But I do agree with the fact that we do need to see the projects, and I do also feel that public input is required. So personally, I would proceed with it and let the city attorney draft it, and then in the meantime, you can bring it back. We are not approving a commitment right now. We're just wanting to.
For August 10th, we'll bring you back a calendar, and then we'll also bring you back those projects with much more specificity.
So you don't want a motion now?
So all we're going to do is have them
direct city staff, I suppose, to bring the projects back and proceed with working towards an option to get it.
Okay, but we're not actually saying go ahead and get it. Okay. This is okay. All right.
So we're providing direction.
Providing direction.
Oh, right.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll make that motion. If you need a motion on that, to provide direction to city staff to.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, to bring back, to proceed with the.
Calendar of the project.
Yeah.
Second.
Second, okay. Was it a motion, or do you need a motion on that, or?
That's good enough for me.
Okay.
We'll have it at the next council meeting.
All right, sounds good. All right, item number 20. Now, before we go to item number 20, I do have a question from the city attorney. Mr. Banks had brought up an issue that, is this an item that needs to be part of it? I mean, some of it is executive session. Can some of it be brought in public? Is it a public discussion, or is it not allowed?
Well, this is a legal claim that's pending against the city, and so I really, to discuss any settlement options or how things might move forward, we really need to do that in executive session where the other side gets to know exactly what you're thinking.
Okay. So the time now is 7:09 p.m. Item number is 20, convene into executive session pursuant to section 551.074 of Texas Government Code of to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, disciplines, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, to hear a complaint or charge against an officer or employee as follows: police officer injury leave. And number 2 is section 551.071 of Texas Government Code, consultations with attorney to receive legal advice from city attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or on matters in which the duty of an attorney to his client under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the state of Texas bar clearly conflict with this chapter as follows: Ben Glick, DBA, Tri-State Iron and Metal Appeals Claim, Paris Warehouse 107, Tax Abatement Agreement. The time is 7:10. We are going to go into executive session. The time is 7:39 p.m. and we are out in the open session. There were 3 things discussed in the closed session, and I'm going to bring all of them out. First of all, the police officer injury was discussed. An officer who was hurt while working. And I'm going to, without going into finer details of his medical conditions, I'd like to ask the council, how does the council want to proceed on it?
I would.
No.
You gonna do it?
No, go ahead. I don't remember.
I'd like to make the motion to go ahead and extend this time 6 months and go in with 100% pay.
I'll second.
All in favor on this?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Item 2 that was discussed was the Glick thing, which is the, what do you call that?
The Glick claim against this, Tri-State Iron Metal claim against the city related to Lamar Avenue project.
And this was, the council just got an update on it, so there was nothing beyond that. The third item on the agenda is with reference to Paris Warehouse 107 LLC on abatement agreement. So I'm going to ask the city attorney to first describe what has transpired there, what the things which were discussed were, and some background information on it.
Right. This is a 2006 tax abatement agreement that was done between the City of Paris and Paris Warehouse 107 Inc. It involved the construction of a 150,000 square foot warehouse and a 7-year tax abatement agreement. Compliance by the PEDC has determined that the Paris Warehouse 107 did not meet their employment requirements for every year of the tax abatement agreement, and we have made demands on them for a rebate of taxes owed for the years that they were not in compliance with the agreement. They have not made payment, and we've had our settlement discussions, and they've gotten nowhere.
So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to take all legal action necessary to enforce tax agreement with Paris Warehouse 107 LLC and collect all abated taxes, penalties, and interest.
6.
Any discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. Motion carries 6-0. With that.
So moved. Got it this time.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.